If you live around NPCs, I want to teach you exactly how to survive. A lot of you may not understand how the world works or exactly what is going on. You've been trying to figure it out. A lot of us been thinking it's a race issue, it's a white or black issue. It's none of those things. At age 49, I've understood what the problem is. The problem is NPCs. An NPC is a non-playable character. These are people that lack a personality. They pretty much just go along with whatever go on. They're robots. They're empty shells. A non-playable character does the same thing all the time. And if you live around them or you work around them, these particular entities can be possessed by demons. They can be possessed by disembodied spirits and therefore be used to try to provoke you. Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you live in a community that is mixed. You have black, you have white, or if you're in an all white community. A lot of times what happens is, let's just say if you're a black man or black woman, if let's say you have neighbors that are white and they're acting weird or whatever the case is, society wants us to focus on race so that we can look at this as a race issue, or this group don't like black people. That's not what this is about, because the same is happening in the reverse. You'll have white people that might live around black people and they will assume negative things about black people because of what society pushes out there. But the real problem that we have that people are not talking about is that it's not a race thing. It has to do with people being susceptible to the devil. NPCs are the true enemies that you're dealing with in life. They come in all shapes and sizes. They could be white, they could be black. This is why when it comes to all of this nonsense about race and all this, I don't have time for all of that, because at my age, I understand that people, whether they're black, white, Asian, can be an NPC. And an NPC, their job is to get in your way, to distract you, to provoke you, to do things to alter your life and your position, so that you end up making a choice that put you in a bad place. So what I want to teach you guys is how to survive if you live around NPCs. The first thing you have to do, guys, is you have to recognize that most of the people that we see on a day-to-day basis, most of the people that you may live around, they're living in a whole nother dimension. You might see them, but they're in a whole nother world. A lot of these people are NPCs. Some of the people you live around, they're not even real. They're just images, illusions that make your mind believe that you're living in a community. Most of us don't understand that the world we're in, it's like a prison. And we're called into this world to fulfill a certain goal. And everybody around you, they're not going to be on your side. They're not going to like you. There's going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, and NPCs are one of them. This is why it's very important that you don't get caught up in the race war or the race issue, because now you'll start to look at everything as black and white. Oh, who's a racist? White people don't like blacks, blacks don't like whites, and you're missing the bigger picture. The real issue is NPCs. You have to recognize when somebody is an NPC from when somebody is an actual human. A non-playable character is like It's somebody that you see them all the time. They do the same thing, but it's like they don't have no existence, no life. There's no meaning to them. They monitor you. NPCs are normally monitoring spirits. These individuals, they watch you. You're the one they watch. You're the one they think about, because they were sent by the devil to distract you, to provoke you, to get a reaction from you. And when you ignore NPCs, it caused them to malfunction because they were sent as a pre-programmed force to get information, to alter your future, to make you angry. There's a lot of different things that NPCs do, but the best thing you can do as a man or woman is ignore NPCs. When you see them coming, you're supposed to automatically know this person is not human, this person is weird, this person have a devil in them, and just keep it moving and just avoid them at all costs, because they want to get into a shouting match with you. They want to trigger anger out of you. They want to see you react a certain way so others can have something to talk about. In a job situation, an NPC can provoke you to anger. And when you lash out in defense over the NPC, nobody saw what the NPC did to provoke you. All they see is how you reacted. So now in the workplace, you start to look like you're crazy. You start to look like a villain. You start to look like you're the aggressor. And now people are speaking and talking about you in a negative way. And it's unfortunate because it end up messing with your reputation in the job. And now it gets back to supervisors and other executives in the company, and that affects your growth in the company, promotions, and so on and so forth. So the best thing to do is ignore NPCs, because they monitor you to the point where they try to figure things out about your life in order to try to trigger reactions from you. The best thing to do is never react to an NPC. What you could do is document what they do so you can learn how the NPC function, because they're robotic. They're like video games. They're like those characters that you see in a video game that you see them walk into the corner and they walk back and they walk back and they keep doing the same thing. And it's designed for one day when you're walking, they're gonna run right into you or trip you, or they'll drive their car back and forth. And then there's that one day you driving by and they driving blindly and they hit into your car. Well, that was an NPC that did that. They were waiting for that to happen so that you can get angry, come out your car, start to fight, become violent, and now you end up getting locked up and you go to prison. So in the workplace environment, it is best to really not interact with certain people. This is why I teach people to avoid people as much as they can, because there are many NPCs amongst us, and they could be in the supermarket, they could be in the banks, in the stores, at the job, in your community. Your neighbor could be an NPC. You don't even know it, but most of you do. Some of you know you have NPCs that are all throughout your neighborhood. Sometimes you live in a neighborhood where you're the only person. You're the only real human being there. Everybody else is NPCs. They're weird. And my advice is just not to talk to nobody. Don't talk to nobody. Stay to yourself. If somebody speak to you, you could go ahead and speak to them. But don't get into the habit of trying to interact with NPCs, because these are robotic people. These are humans that are robots. These are people that have no real personality, no real purpose. So it's very easy for demonic spirits to operate through such individuals. And once the devil or a demon embodies such individuals, they're going to be programmed to monitor you, to attack you. And when they attack, we're not talking about a physical attack. That's not how NPCs do it. NPCs don't just run up to you to try to attack you. NPCs do things to get under your skin. NPCs will provoke you. That's what they do. They're the types that will try to use certain tactics to harass you. Like, let's say hypothetically for me, right? Living in this particular community where I'm at, there's a lot of NPCs. So I have signs around the perimeter of the whole house where the yard is. And I have signs: do not run, do not walk on the yard, don't let your dog walk on the yard, and so on and so forth. Well, what an NPC will do is challenge that sign and say, well, we don't care about it. Let's run on his lawn. Let's walk on it. Let my dog run on it. And it's designed to trigger your senses so you can get angry, so that you can react. And then when they do that, other NPCs are monitoring if you're going to react. And what this does is they're all waiting to see what you're going to do. And when you result or react with anger, the NPC was able to get under your skin, and they know what to do to trigger it even more. So what's going to happen is more NPCs will begin to walk on your yard in order to trigger you, because they won't walk on nobody else's yard. That's how NPCs are, and you can see it. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know this. Like, you can have NPCs in your community and they won't go on nobody else's yard. They won't play on nobody else's yard. Balls don't go to nobody else's yard. But for some reason, everything goes to your yard. And you're trying to figure out, like, what the heck is going on? Why is it that everything seems to be targeted at me? Because you're a targeted individual. You're the light. You have the light, and you're surrounded by darkness. So the NPCs will begin to do things to try to trigger you. And it's very weird, but the number one thing to do when you're around or living around NPCs is to ignore them. That's the best advice I could give you when it comes to an NPC. There may be times when you have to speak against certain things that NPCs do to kind of set the record straight, so that that particular entity, that particular robot, know not to cross those boundaries. But you will be challenged by NPCs because they're all around us. They're everywhere. They're in clothing stores. They're in the supermarkets. They're in the big box stores. They're everywhere waiting to provoke you. You could drive your car, park it in the parking lot, and as soon as you park it, an NPC parks right next to you, right? And there's really no space, or they leave you no space to open or even to get in your car. And these things are designed to trigger you. They're designed to really get on your nerves. Sometimes a car can block you and you can't even get out a parking spot because they parked their car right in front of where your car is. And it's just very weird. It's like, why would somebody do that, knowing that they see a car here already that got to leave? Well, those are NPCs that do that type of stuff, you know? And it's very sick when people do that. We live in a time where you really can't trust people. And I don't want you, as a black man, white man, whatever your ethnicity is, to think that everything is about race. It's not about race. It is about who's an NPC. Because what society uses is they use race to confuse us from the main real problem. And the real problem is that a lot of the people that we think are people are not people. They're not, guys. These are disembodied spirits. These are NPCs. These are non-playable characters. They don't even exist. They have no soul. They're just illusions, and they're set in positions to annoy us. That's what they're for. They're monitoring spirits. They keep tabs on you. They watch what you do. And they know when you come, when you go. They see everything you do. And you have to be careful, guys. You have to really be careful out here. Whether you're at the job, whether you live in a certain community. I don't recommend that you interact with your neighbors. There was a time when having neighbors was a good thing, but not today. I really recommend that you just stay to yourself. Be about your own personal business. Don't get caught up in community gossip or community politics, because you're going to have a lot of problems. Your neighbors, they already been talking about you. They talk about you all the time. You're always the conversation at dinner tables. And it's because you possess the light and they're in darkness. That's why they keep talking about you. You're the center of attention. That's when you know you really got it going on, is when NPCs are monitoring you so much that they got to keep talking about you. And it's like, it's weird that you occupy that much space in their minds and hearts. But the goal is to provoke you to anger. That's the goal. Provoke you, get you angry, make you react a certain way so others can look at you as a bad person. And that's what NPCs are assigned to do. Whether you're a black man or white man, it doesn't matter what race you are. NPCs come in all shapes and colors and sizes. And you're going to learn this the hard way if you don't take heed to the content. So we're going to talk more about NPCs and how these non-playable characters are put in positions to be a thorn in your flesh. It seems like they're always out when you're out. It's like when you're not out, they're not out. But the minute you go outside or even attempt to do anything outside, the NPC is already there waiting for you. Almost like they were sent just to harass you, to provoke you for the day. And if they can't get you in the community where you live, they'll get you on your job. If they can't get you in your job, they'll get you in traffic. If they can't get you at traffic, they'll get you at the park. They'll get you at the grocery store. Wherever you are, there will be an NPC to challenge you. So be prepared to pass those tests. Don't let them push you over the edge. Don't react in anger. Just ignore every attempt they try to distract you from your call, and you'll be on top of your game if you follow the instructions. But the best advice I can give you is avoid NPCs and don't even respond to them. Sometimes you'll have NPCs that'll do stuff where they'll kick a ball, the ball will go on your yard. All of this is designed to trigger you because it never goes to nobody else's yard. And this is what I mean. This is how you know when you're being attacked by NPCs. It's when certain things are just not adding up. Certain things just don't make sense. The anomalies are there. And it's like, why is this happening? Why is this person monitoring me? Why is this happening to me? Because they already done predetermined that you're the person that have the light. They don't understand you. So they're going to try everything possible to get your attention. And that's what it really be when they try to provoke you, when they try to do things to trigger certain anger in you. It's because they're seeking information out of you. Sometimes NPCs will be sent to your house to knock on your door, to sell a product or service. They really don't want to sell no product or service. They want to interact with you for a bit to kind of get a feel of what it's like to communicate with you. Be very careful of those kind of NPCs. These are the home visits from total strangers, people selling products and services, and they look at you as a homeowner. Be very concerned about those kind of NPCs because they try to get your name. They try to learn things about you to figure you out a little bit more. It would be best not to even open your door when you see those kind of NPCs. If they're uninvited and you never ask them to come to your house, don't even answer your door. Don't even respond, you know? And it's the same thing. Like, don't respond to them in the real world and don't answer your door. It's the same thing. Let them sit there and just be a non-playable character. They're going to turn around and they're going to go find somebody else's door to talk to. Just that simple, guys. So that being said, we're going to do more content about NPCs and how to win the fight against these particular entities, because the worst thing you can do is fall victim to an NPC and then you allow the NPC to make you lose your freedom, lose your job, lose the respect of other people. It's not worth it. So avoid negative places, people, and things and habits. Believe in yourself, and most importantly, avoid NPCs. I'm out. Peace.